Oh, that's the wrong screen. That's the right screen. Get that stuff up there. Had to play the tune. Had to play the tune. We've missed the tune for such a long time. It's one of the things I keep on forgetting to get ready. And David is there. Good, good. I thought we might not have been Saturday. David wasn't be there before everybody else. Okay, good morning, everybody. How are we? Chris Brand. There's a few other lurkers in the background there as well, probably waiting for me to say something wrong, I'm sure. Or swear. Yeah, we got a lineup today. There's a lot of stuff in the interwebs going on in Thailand, and I'll wait for a few more people to get in before we start that. But how is everybody else today? Just pop in, say hello. Well, Chris has already done that. Darlo, good morning, good afternoon. Yes, whatever day it is, somewhere morning, afternoon, or whatever. Phillip Island, I'm pretty sure it's still cold down there.
But wet.
We had a bit of rain here last night too.
Don't talk to me about.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had really good power up here in Don Wai for a year and a half. Right, he's gone to Bang Chung for 2 months. How long have you been down there? 2 months, 3 months.
2 months.
2 months, and he's experiencing what people in Pattaya or Pattaya experience with the weather. Rain, and more rain. we got a little pocket where we live here, and it seems to just go either left or right of us, unless of course it's really, really heavy, like it was last night. Jim Collins, g'day. How you doing? Malcolm K as well. Well, yeah. So still no flights. Still no flights, Todd.
No.
You don't. He's got a brave smile on his face like this.
Oh well, I've got another thing. The air conditioning in the bedroom's not working as of last night.
So you slept in the computer room?
No, I tried to sleep downstairs in the lounge and that didn't work. So I've got to organise a technician today.
Mate, I can't sit on your lounge without falling asleep. I don't know what your problem is. You just simply sit on his lounge, and there's this overwhelming urge to just lie down and just.
Except my moving day.
Except for Todd. Todd can't do it. Joseph, how you doing? Yes. Anyway, it looks like everybody's sort of getting into the thing. So we've got a bunch of shit to talk about today, and well, we want a bit of feedback. I know you guys don't jump into Discord to really give us your feedback, so we'll just have to work with it for this 30-second delay. Where are we? Get the right windows up. That's the one. That's the one there, and we'll go big screen. Right. Let's talk about this. Thai government to tax all income from abroad for tax residents starting 2024. Okay, so there's been different revisions of this article along the week, and there's been some sort of tentative clarifications going on, but I'm going to try to wrap it up into what I understand and how it doesn't affect me at this stage. Based on one thing, but it doesn't. It does affect a lot of other people simply because of the fact that this situation only applies to about a third of the population, a third of the countries on the planet, and I've got a bit of a conspiracy theory about that as well. So I'm shooting it. I got a Chris Brand on that one, yeah.
Stay focused.
No, Russell Brand. We've got a Chris
Russell Brand.
I got a Russell Brand on that one. No, we're not going to talk about Russell Brand today. Yeah, I believe he's innocent. That's just another chopping down to the dissenting voices of, if you're against the propaganda machine, they're going to shut you up. That's the way the life works around here, isn't it? Anyway, moving right along. Thailand's Revenue Department has released new guidelines which sees income from abroad on a personal tax regardless of whether they earn. Yeah, what it is, just in a nutshell, there's a lot of tax tax evasion going on, right, for Thailand because they have a disparate tax year to a lot of other countries around the planet. Now, I still haven't see. Our tax year in Australia is from July 1 through to June 30. The tax year here in Thailand is July 1 through to June 30 as well, isn't it?
I've never paid tax in
No, no, that's right.
Thailand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Mayor Groves? We need Mayor
Yeah,
Groves.
where's Mayor Groves? Yeah. But in the US, it's the flip side. So there's a 6-month overlap, right? And there's a lot of American expats living in Thailand who are very financially secure, and they are using that to defer their tax implication in America by moving it from country to country around the place and avoiding tax revenue. I was speaking with Elvis yesterday at the Watton Guide Caravan.
Wonthaggi.
Wonthaggi, I guess that's obviously
Yeah.
in caravan park.
Home and away, Wonthaggi.
He believes the moon landing was staged in Hollywood. A lot of people believe that, but there is a number of different ways you can dispute that, which is it would actually have cost them more to actually produce it in a studio with equipment that did not actually exist than it was to actually send it to the moon. Right, that is the basic bottom line of that. And that has been confirmed by people like some of the big producers in Hollywood, right? Which is where that people are getting this bullshit fucking story from anyway. We're not here to talk about that conspiracy. Come on.
Tax was it?
Tax. I want to try. I'm trying to avoid tax everywhere I go. Russell Brand will be added to the cancelled list of many of the other famous, infamous. Yes, never seen any woman get cancelled. I know this is the way it is. It's a collusion, but he has got a bit of a loose tongue. But he's a public figure rocking the boat, right? And he's been doing a lot of rocking, But anyway, so the way this works is the fact that people are avoiding tax by this overlap of tax year. There's also a secondary tax implication which they don't talk about because it gets a little bit grey area, which is the what we talked about a few weeks ago, which was the scams. If we all know our history, 80 to 90% of those scams come from where?
Oh, it starts with C and ends with A.
Oh well. What's that? Canada?
Not Canada.
I'm thinking of Nigeria, Congo, South Africa. Pretty much every country apart from the state of South Africa doesn't have a tax treaty here in Thailand. So that's one of my, loose associations that I've got there, which is the fact that, well, Thais are being scammed and that money is being funneled out of the country. So if they're going to tax the people who are in the country from that country. Rob the rich to pay the poor, But anyway, that's just one of those conspiracy theories. But the bottom line is this thing here really is about this, we do have a tax agreement, and I do have the list of countries here that do have a tax agreement with Thailand. So primarily when you look at the letter, haven't read I've only read the Australian tax agreement, I haven't read it out. They all write individual ones, but primarily if you're being taxed in any one of these countries, there is a dual tax agreement with that country which states the fact that we won't tax you for your residence staying here in Thailand if you don't tax us if we go to your country in Australia. That's the way it works in a nutshell. It's a fucking long, how many fucking pages is it? It's 59 pages long. Do you want to read that? I can definitely give you a link to that if you really... Well, that's a Chrome extension. We don't want to do that. I've got to remember where I put the link. It's over here, isn't it? There we go. Copy. Now that's the list. That's the PDF. Where's the PDF? That's the HTML. That's the PDF. Copy. And put that over here. Yeah, for those and emoji. Okay, it looks like I'm going. Yeah, I'd have to URL shorten it because it doesn't want me to put a URL link in the chat box, and I'm the administrator. What the fuck I do that? Anyway, hit me up. It's in Discord. It's under Thailand. It's under general news in the Discord if you got access. Anyway, it just goes on. I've just said we won't. I'm not going to go through all the lines because the fact that we've only got an hour. But it basically says that existing tax. I'm trying I just zoom. Where's the zoom button on this one? Existing taxes of which the agreement applies to. In the case of Thailand, the income tax and petroleum tax. Right. In the case of Australia, income tax and resource rent tax in respect to offshore projects related to exploration for the exploitation. The thing here is income tax. It does go into some more detail and to, like savings and all that sort of stuff. And these things are also exempt because they've already been taxed in income, so on and so forth, and blah, blah. It's a long doc. I don't want to bore you with the document. It's just gobbledygook. Robert Groves is in the house. There you go. Good day. Good morning, Robert. Yeah, so for me, it basically says I'm clear, right? Because I paid tax on the money, right? It goes into my investment portfolio, right? It's taxed under the, the superannuation taxation scheme because it's under a special private fund, which is umbrellaed under the, the superannuation scheme that's foundation to Australian tax law. So I'm good. Right, unless of course they decide to make that agreement, which was written in 19. Was it? When did it come out? It came out in. It did give a date somewhere. Did I see it? Or was it there? It told us the Australia. Okay, 19 taxable year, so it came into effect in 1989. They'd have to rewrite all that, which means the fact that would take, if they were going to rewrite it, it'd take a year, 2 years, 3 years to rewrite it, because it's got to go through both parliaments, and you know how slow parliaments work, right? So they'd have to rewrite it. That's it, and governments don't work very fast at all anyway. So we're clear with that one. But ultimately, it does mean that the fact that you just got to keep your eye on the keep your eye on the ball. I think that's true. Did I just show chat? Jeez, I did that. Keep your eye on the ball, otherwise you get lost. Anyway, so how does everybody else here? Like, I don't know. See, we got the USA's there, so USA does have a dual tax agreement, but there is this grey area of this offset tax year. Moving money from country to country, which means the fact that they will now be assessed on 180 days as opposed to the original 360 days. That's how they're going to capture that money movement across, right? But yeah, so I think it's all good, but it's just the typical things we see here in Thailand. Thailand has a double tax agreement with 61 countries. 61, there it is. The interesting part is which countries aren't there. And I went through it. South Africa, yes, they weren't. I went through pretty much the whole list. Nothing in South Africa is done. There's South America also. There's only a couple of countries in South America. I have to go. I think Chile's one of them, isn't it? Chile? No, Chile's
Yes.
not. No, Chile? No.
No. Okay.
I was going to Colombia. I can't remember which one it was. It wasn't Venezuela. Paraguay. Yeah. I'd have to go through again. I should have prepared all that. I don't know if you guys want me to actually write out scripts for this Saturday morning thing. But yeah, so yeah, primarily those two large continents don't have a tax agreement, and as we know from history, a lot of that, shenanigans that, basically it's just, people just do things to steal other people's money. That's all. Yeah. Anyway, so. I don't know. I'm looking for thoughts. What's everybody else's thoughts on this whole overall, banner thing? Do you think it's a scary thought? How they can change things? I'm just after some feedback. Are we still streaming? That's a good question. Nobody's talking.
I think we are. Yeah, well, I'm still here. I just being on the pension, if they double dip on my pension, I will have to reevaluate stuff. So, because they haven't clarified what banner of foreign income.
Mm.
That's the other grey area. Is it foreign income from business? Is it foreign income from other country investments, or is it funds coming in from another country? I did some research on it, and I can't seem to find clarification.
It comes down to the fact that has that money been taxed in your home country? If it has been taxed, then you are exempt from it. That's all. Out of all the articles I read over the week, that's about the way I interpret the banner. But again, it's everybody's reading this thing here translated from Thai, and as we know, Thai translation. God, we have 7 words for cow means 7 different things primarily, and then with some tonal inflections means another 12 things. And if you saw the word written down, it could mean 5 things in sort of one way you write it, and it could mean 3 things in another way you write it. Oh, really? Yeah. And this is the way the Thailand language works. It's very much open to linguistics and general semantics at the time, because some of the words used in the articles back there from 1989, nobody uses those words anymore. It's called general semantics, and it's constantly evolving. Words mean different things. But anyway, I'm just going to move on from this one here. I'm not worried personally, but I can see it's when you throw these sort of things in and you've got a new government forming, you can see why the baht does a nosedive on the exchange. I think it's lost about 5 or 6 basis points against the American dollar at the moment. It's all good for us as well, because we tend to be pegged against the American dollar. What do we got today? I don't want my camera. Come on. Oh, my exchange rates. Okay, we're at 23.2 right now. Okay, but there's no trading on the weekend. But it got up to 23.4, which was the highest we've seen in quite a while. But yeah, so we'll see what happens next week. But yeah, so Malcolm, past Thai government has flip-flopped a lot on the ideas of milk foreigners, such as tourist entry fees. I think the new Thai government will more seriously think about farang milking. Well, yeah, there is that element, but again, they're still worried about the the lack of GDP. Their GDP mark figures are down from where they predict. I think a lot of them don't go to the same school of statistics that I went to. But again, I didn't go to school. I learnt on the ground, and I spent 15 years in the industry, and there's something about industry specifics versus university specifics make a lot of difference. But anyway, 23. Yeah, 23 is hard. 30, well, that was 10 years old. 2012, yeah. I really liked that period. That was great. I felt like a millionaire when I was 33. But again, I keep on having the conversation with Shania. It's just, look, she's now thinking about, wants to move to Salon. And I'm going, well, how much is that going to cost us to move to Salon? She says, not much. And I'm going, I really need figures because I got to put it into my budget. And then I explained my budget again. I said, like, I got, my budget was foundational on 75,000 baht a month. That's what I knew I could live on and enjoy myself and everything else. Currently, I'm living on 68,000 baht a month. And I have been doing that for quite some time over the last 2 or 3 years. And it just gets annoying, because you just, this little thing special, this little special, I got that slush fund, but I just said to her, look, she said, insurance for the car. I said, well, it's every year, have you put money away for it, I know you got money in the bank, and of course she has a small little nest egg, but she's like me, she doesn't want to touch it, not if a farang can pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I explained to the situation. I said, look, this is it. You're on a tight budget, because of Ben being home and, you've got to fill in, extra time doing the running around. You've had less time in the salon. That's had an effect on your income, right? You need to take these into account. So this is this short-term thinking that they have, what's going to happen today and what's going to happen tomorrow, not what's happening next month or the month after or the month after that. and it can get very, very frustrating. You know, I love the girl to bits, but you know, it's just it's been there, done that, learnt from my mistakes. I'm just trying to give you the mistake criteria to try to avoid, so that you don't fall into those sort of traps and set you back 10 years for your financial goals when you want to retire. And don't forget, Thais here retire at 55, technically, not 57. You know, so you've got a shorter window, and you're only coming up to 40 this, you know, next year, and you know, you need to make these plans. 15 years is a good window to get yourself a nice little nest egg if you set your goal at that 15 years. And we went through this whole discussion last night. She in facial expressions seemed to indicate that she understood what I was talking about. So we'll go halves in the insurance for the car this year. But you know, that's the Vios, not the big car. That I take care of that. That's her car for her running back to work and back. You know, that should be a business expense. Again, it's a business expense. It's a business vehicle. I don't even see her tax. I don't get involved in that. You know, that's a tax expense. That petrol and that gas you put in, that's an expense. You offset your tax. But I'm pretty sure I don't see a book. I don't see any sort of ledger for the trips she does, right? I just don't get involved. So, but I think she now understands where we stand with the whole situation. We just need to be very conservative. You know, we've got extra expenses with electricity and the food and the other odds and ends that, Ben being sick. You know, and as I said to her, that costs about 5,000 baht a month on top of what our regular budget was. You know, and now I think she's now got her head around the whole thing, that this is where we need to go. We need to start looking at the long term and, you know, do I really need that now? Okay, insurance for the car, you do, right? But, you know, breast augmentation, you don't, you know. I've got to throw that one in there because that's the ongoing story. I said, they're big enough, darling. I don't want them any bigger.
Yeah.
Was it? Let's catch up with the people that organise the Thai government. Yeah. You get money to fund the 10,000. Yeah, I know that's another thing as well. Giving away money, right? We know how well that works. Seems like yesterday still. How do Thai women? How do you tie?
You got that wrong. I was reading that. He said, "How do you teach Thai women to save?" He put a correction underneath that.
Yeah, okay, that's right. There is a correction.
It's possible, because why worry about the future? That's a big one.
It is a deep cultural issue here in Thailand. There's no doubt about it. There's a deep cultural issue about this, enjoy today, and that comes across in the culture as well, right? Thais, if I can, look, I can't really compare it, because I'm only seeing Farangs living in Thailand now. I don't see the regular people I would see on the bus, on the train, on the work to the office, on the walk to the office. I don't see those people anymore. And that was the 8 o'clock in the morning. This is your start of your day. Here's me, I'm feeling pretty up. I've had a good sleep. I've had a breakfast. I've had my coffee. I'm ready to get into it, and I'm happy. And I got music in my ears, and I'm cruising to work, and everybody around you. And everywhere you go, try to find a happy person on the street in Australia was impossible. Mm-hmm. And you come to Thailand and you're going, I still feel so much more relaxed because I see smiling people. It is that simple, And I think that's all part of the culture, isn't it? They just don't worry about those things that they don't control, right? And unfortunately, this is the thing. It's about that. I think I equate it to that. Circle of influence everybody has. The mother has a circle of influence over the family, right? The father has a circle of influence over family and friends, right? And those circles overlap, right? And as you go up in different things, that circle gets bigger. I've got a fairly big circle of acquaintances because I'm inverted commas, a public figure. I have a bigger reach when I talk to people. Not that anybody ever listens to me. I've got a great little meme for that one. Where's that meme? Got to throw that meme in here. Hold on. Just for fun.
You'll find it. You'll
There,
find
there it is. There it is. Open in browser window. There we go. There's the meme. I learn from the mistakes of people who take my advice. Yeah, I got to throw that one in. But it works. But very rarely do I make mistakes. I usually overanalyze anything to the nth degree before I'll make a decision on something.
Engage from afar.
Yes, that's how it is. Just engage from afar. Anyway, let's okay, I still think those 3-story houses with shop at the bottom are a good idea. Quite frankly, I that's what I thought we were going to be looking for when we did our house hunting. We looked at a couple, but that style of house is no longer in vogue, right? In a lot of areas, it's more the self-contained, not the adjacent wall or semi-detached housing. That has a social stigma of being lower class than a piece of land, even 230 square metres or whatever, that has a higher prestige than a business sitting out front, with adjacent walls. And they get a bit squashy too, but we did look at a couple, but they were asking sort of, well, what I thought was too much. And again, locations we found spare just wasn't appropriate to really, turn an existing business, because that would have meant, 6 months loss of income from where we looked at and blah, blah. Oh, it's not really 6 months, but a 6 months downturn in her income from her salon would have, had an effect back then. And of course that was COVID times as well, a lot of things weren't happening. But yeah, enough of the stories. Look, you've always got, if you always have goals. Goals are foundational. The reason why you set them in concrete or written on the wall is the fact that if something comes along your way, you work around them. You don't sort of say, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
If you don't have those goals foundationally set in your life, then everything becomes a distraction. I only focus on things that contribute to my dreams and goals. I think probably Zig Ziglar said only goals. I threw dreams in there because dreams are part of it too. Anyway, enough of that. Anyway, moving right along. I think I'm talking too much. Okay. Well, do I need to pay? That was the rest of the articles. Government to tighten tax rules.
We
Yeah.
covered that. Yeah.
Yeah, we covered all that. Okay, mind the gap. This one here, I thought this one here. I'm not going to put the video on because as soon as I put the video on, somebody will claim the fact that that's my video and you can't do that. But I can show a photo, I guess, because targeted. Mind the gap. This happened. Was it 1 day ago? 1 day ago? I thought it was 2 days ago. Anyway. Yeah, so a BTS going from the passenger next shock to Punaviti, arrived at Punaviti. So, where is Punaviti station? It's down the south side, isn't it?
I'm not going to guess.
For some reason, I seem to think it's the MRT. Punaviti was somewhere down here. Again, I should have probably looked at that, shouldn't I? You have these mental images of where things are. Like I can do it in Sydney to a high degree, but I've lived there for.
It's in Bangkok. It's in Bangkok.
Yeah, must be the North way. Anyway, I think that's a moot point because I can't find it. But yeah, so the door opened in mid-flight, and I'm just thinking the first thing that crosses.
Mid-flight, no, mid-cruise.
Well, you're up in the air. You're up in the air mid-flight. Yeah. Come on.
Oh no.
It's one thing falling at a train and suddenly sort of 3 foot to the ground, but it's falling at a train and you've got a 35-foot drop. Well, that's a different thing. That's flying.
Okay.
Unless of course you're after Dent. After Dent.
Right.
Yeah. Just think of something else as you're falling. Right. And that's the way
miss the ground.
The secret to flying is to throw yourself at the ground and miss.
Yeah.
It's the missing part that people get confused with. We tried it at a pool one day, and no amount of distractions could actually distract us enough from knowing that gravity hurts. Even when it was soft gravity, the soft landing. But we tried everything, running 50 miles an hour from go-karts.
You do realise Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is fictional, right?
No, it's real. It fell through a time warp in the future. You guys don't know anything. Jesus. Who's it? Skytrain.
One bet.
Anyway,
One bet.
the only thing that came across my mind when I saw this article, I go on, I've caught that BTS in PopeKael, and that was like that Friday before. I was in the MRT going to Sukhumvit, and that was 5:30 in the afternoon. And seriously, I have never seen the MRT so packed. They were almost doing the Japanese thing of pushing people into the car. That was at Ceylon. I'm going, seriously, you can't get any more people in here, seriously. Right? Could you imagine the door opening on that, where everybody's actually up against the door? That was the thing that flashed through my mind instantly. I'm going, bullshit. Yeah, anyway, bit of a scary thought. Yes, they did an adjustment with the petrol and the electricity prices, which I don't think comes into my next month's bill. But yeah, it's cooler weather now, so my 6,500 baht a month went down to 5,500 baht a month for last month because we're just using the air conditioners less. And we also had them cleaned too in that period, so I'm pretty sure that affects their efficiency too. What percentage, Bobby, that's a good question. What percentage of Thai smiles do you think are genuine? Well, it comes if you know how to read body language, you can usually tell them. But 80 to 90% of them are genuine.
I'd say they're genuine. It's just the emotion attached to that smile that changes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Thai people, and I've found especially down this way, their understanding of English or their perception of how to respond to someone speaking a different language is very small. And Thai people don't want to lose face by not saying they can't help or don't understand. So they smile out of fear, out of frustration, out of...
Yeah, there's that too, yes.
Yeah.
But that's usually situational, and you know
but
what's been occurring. Yeah.
It is genuine, though. It is a genuine smile, but do you mean smile of happiness or joy, or do you mean a smile of embarrassment, nervousness? It is a genuine smile.
Yeah. It's
just the emotion behind it.
Yeah. I think 50% is very high. Well, that's what we're going to talk about next. Cannabis Network gives... Well, that's the last of the article. That was the... Yeah. Okay, that was the... Okay, so there's been a few of this articles going through this week as well. Thai Prime Minister vows to put an end to recreational use of marijuana within 6 months. I don't see him putting an end to recreational use of alcohol, which is the angle I'm taking here. Now, I did do some research. It's not easy to find this research because some of us behind things that I've got access to that you guys don't. But between 21 through to 23, the alcohol industry on beer, wine and spirits and beer and cider sales over that period of time dropped 10 to 15% on yearly averages. That's when they introduced cannabis to the palate of the Thais, right? So I know exactly where the push is coming from, considering the fact that the alcohol industry here in Thailand dropped to 25 to 30% revenues when COVID started. That did recover in 21, right? Brought it back to near the same highs, right, as pre-COVID times, and then it does another sharp drop of about 10 to 15%. What caused that? was it a second wave of COVID, or does it time itself well to when cannabis was introduced to the palate of the Thais? Good one for questioning. I'm going to do the Russell Brand on that one, let you think about that one. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that, in my opinion, the push is coming from the alcohol industry because they're losing money, because they're getting from one quarter. There's lots of lobbying groups that say change the alcohol restriction laws for production so that we can get more craft beer in the country. That's still hitting brick walls, right? Because again, they don't want their little, fiefdom upset, Fiefdom. I don't know. Fiefdom works. Anyway, so he reckons it's going to end within 6 months. Okay, well, so the real issue that I see here is the fact that they want to restrict it to, adults who are of sound mind, body and spirit. How you want to affect your life should be up to you, right? But, they're getting taxed. They're getting taxed on it. I believe they're getting taxes. Maybe the tax proportioning is not correct as well. I don't know what's going wrong with their numbers, but we've got a $2.5 billion, well, I don't know, there were some figures used here. Currently, there are 6,000 cannabis retail shops nationwide. Thai farmers are also freely permitted to cultivate marijuana. I wish they wouldn't use this word. There's no such thing as a marijuana. It's a fake word. It's cannabis. Right? Called it by the cultivar. Only to seek permissions from the Food and Drug. So furthermore, they only clear rules governing the plant appear to be about ban smoking in public, which is, yes, I quite agree with that. Should not be in public. That's something they need to address. You just got to walk down Sukhumvit, you know what I'm talking about. Age restriction, yes, we definitely need some improvements in distribution. Right? That's what the guys I see. I'm pretty sure they're over 18, but there are some shops there that have got 15 or 16-year-olds running them. Right, so we've got to fix that, and the prohibition of operating their schools. Yeah, so I totally agree with that. Yeah, and of course, this will hit a thing as well, because there is already numbers for the focused on tourists. There are already numbers in the thing. the Tourism Authority already see part of that rise in tourism has become because of this. Are they going to cut up their nose to spite their face? They want to hit you for 300 baht coming in or 500 baht coming in the country, yet they want us to take away part of that revenue stream that's helping Thais. It's like nobody has a clue. Anyway, yeah, so he wants to put on more restrictions. I just think they just need to just wake the fuck up and just get back to normality. And of course, we have got the Cannabis Network giving a pushback. Cannabis Network today, September 27, urged the Public Health Minister to clearly define what planned draft bill on cannabis and hemp would mean in saying that, be it for medical or health purposes only, because of traditional medical practitioners are cut out of the lead to cut out. It could lead to conflicts, Channel 7 said. And this is another area, like there are, we don't see it as a farang mainly. I see it because I know what's going on, because I know what to look for. But this is another part that's not even getting any news. There are, naturopaths, I'll use that weird word, out there who are now using that in their practices, and they're getting results like they did before it was outlawed, right? And while they still did, while it was prohibited, but it was secretly done. It's not like cannabis has never been in Thailand. It grows naturally here, everywhere. You just got to throw seeds, and within a week you'll get sprouts. It grows just like wildfire here. It's a weed, potentially. What, weed? Yeah. But yeah, so, yeah, what can I say about it? It's just all a propaganda machine. It's being pushed back from the people who are losing out, right? And these people are going to push again because of the fact that, how does a multinational company, or a corporate company like the beer industry, get to dictate what these people here are not even involved in the industry, right? You're preventing them from legally pursuing their profession, right, and helping other Thais. Whereas we all know alcohol does not help anyone.
Me sometimes.
Well, it's a superficial help. You know, you pay
Yeah.
for it 2 days later, but you know.
Yeah.
Robert Grove, yeah, ban all cannabis. Yeah, like, we'll ban Chung beer next, don't you worry. How would you feel about having your Chung beer banned? Come on. I want to know how you really feel about it. Road deaths. There had been. I think I didn't even go looking for those statistics because I just don't like looking at them because 9 out of 10 people just don't know how to drive or ride a motorcycle. So and I don't really think it has much effect on cannabis because cannabis, you know, anybody knows if you've ever smoked, you'll drive 10-15% slower when you smoke cannabis than you do when you drive and drink alcohol. Why? It's an unknown. I think you just can't be bothered sort of going fast. You know you're going to get home. Alcohol helps you. I saw a picture of a Thai coach driver, Thai crew who just killed somebody in the newspaper at a roadside with a massive smile on his face. Yeah, well. Yeah, so again, this is another one. I don't know what this government's really planning to do. They are technically a minority government who have announced about half a dozen things since they took office that is upsetting the general population. They look like mud right now. And of course, the latest one that came out yesterday, I'm not even going to put a thing up for it. They actually want Tuscan. Is that you know, the guy that was exiled or self-imposed exile? They want him back in government. What the Mangalai wa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they're my news pieces for today. We've got a bit of a mouthful. 40 minutes long. Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Feedback time. What does everybody else think about this bullshit? Novelty has just increased like 100-fold.
I just want to go flying. That's all I want to do. I want it to stop raining. I just want it to. I want to be able to sleep properly. I want to.
Well, I've said enough. I want you guys talking about it. Come on.
No, it's your show, mate.
Oh, yes, it's our show. Look, I keep on saying it's our show. It wouldn't be anything without Chris and Robert and Dallo and Dave. It wouldn't be the show without these people.
Oh, well, I'll just put this up and just remind everyone. We talk like this most of the time on Discord. There are sort of 1 or 2 hours where we don't talk when we're actually focusing on hardcore gaming.
Which is what we're going to do next because we've got part 2 has been released and the Purge mechanic is really a lot of fun. Right, so we will be doing that straight after stream. We'll be jumping in. We're all set up. Well, okay, we're all set up. I won't take it full screen, but we are set up. I have built a new base into the middle of the country. Right, fully fortified. There it is down there. Oh, and it hasn't res. Oh, there it is. Wait for res in. Yeah. So this is my treasure vault. You got to go in here through this door, and you got to deal with these guys here. Then you got to go down here. You got to deal with these guys here. Then you got to deal with these guys on this door. Then you got to run through the secret chamber underneath and go past this door into the treasure room. I just don't think even at level 10 they're not going to make it. But we'll do it in stages. We'll go from level 3 up to level 10.
No, let's do level 5 next.
Level 5. You want to do level 5 next?
Yeah, why not?
Well, level 2 is fun.
I've got brand new thralls. I've got to.
You've got to level some up, yeah.
Level them up.
Yeah, so that's the sort of bullshit we do when we're playing. But we're gonna have some purges later.
In between me trying to find a technician to come and have a look at my air conditioning.
Okay, so Todd wants to get high in the plane, and Warren gets the high without a plane. That's right. Works for me. And I would never promote the use of cannabis. It's up to you, right? If you haven't tried it, then what are you missing? I don't know. You've got to find out for yourself. Some people just don't have a chemistry that is accentuated by tetrahydrocarbonyl. Other people are extremely susceptible to. If you are obsessive compulsive, right, and things like that, you'll find cannabis does well for you because it just relaxes you. You just don't get so obsessive compulsive. But yeah, so it affects people paranoia. Well, most of the paranoia came from the fact that it was illegal, and it's quite obvious when you're stoned. That's where the paranoia comes from. Grass doesn't make you paranoid. It's the social environment that you live in makes you paranoid. But yeah, moving right along. How much have weed prices come down? Well, I buy two different strains. One is the Thai local, which you probably heard the word Thai stick, which is a cultivar that they grow, that has been growing here for like centuries, right? And there's a Thai Tanasoy, which is another cultivar. It's more sincere, and so if I try to, the Thai stick is like a hybrid. It's a sativa, but it's a hybrid. It tends to be like hermaphrodite in certain aspects, so it will self-seed, whereas the Thai Tanasoy tends to be more of a sincere, which is a longer flowering plant, and it doesn't try to revert into a male strain to reproduce. That's technical. I'm not going to go into it in great details. But the Thai Tanasoy is the one. So Thai stick's worth of is about 70 baht a gram. The Thai Tanasoy comes in at about maybe 90 to 100 baht a gram. So those prices are good. The prices for the special cream of the crop, special budding stuff, the flowers, the ones that they want to remove, this high value stuff. That ranges from, you really want to, so let me quickly just get my line account up. You can have a quick look. If I can find my line account, come on, open line. I clicked that button, there it is. Where is my guys? Paid 420. Oh, that's a full-time bud tender. They want a position for another bud tender. Okay. This is their specials. Oh, this is their, come on. Oh, come on, line, open up, right. Did that just close both windows, did it?
Yeah.
Fucking shit. Yeah. Be with you in a second. Okay, we'll bring the window up. Right, can we get a bit bigger so we can read it? Yeah, so this, what do we got? So this Thai stick, Thai Tanasauri. I don't know how you say the word. Thai Tana Tana Osri. Tan Asari. They say this is sativa, but it's a hermaphrodite sativa, which means it self-seeds. This one here is just tends to be longer flowering. Blue Dream, right? You can see the THC contents here. Blue Dream there, 250, 150 for that one there. 20%.
I just want to know how they come up with the names, like
these things. These names have been created over the last 30 years of Americans, and basically these strains that are talked about here have the same listed. Like they have this matrix of, terpenes and colour and things like that, which you can identify from, and they match these strains with what's known, and then they call it that, and so on and so forth. But yeah, we got some of these things here. I think the Open Space. I bought that one. I bought 3.5 grams of that one there, just for those special occasions. It lasts about a month. Yeah, so, but that one's 31% THC. If you just want a bit of extra, I take it for relaxation and pain because I'm old. But sometimes if I really want to get a good gaming night on, I really want to do some space adventure. Ape in Space, man, works for me.
Warning, we're all
But that's the stuff.
warning.
That's what they're talking about. They're talking about this stuff here on this top and second line. That's what they want to restrict. But you can't restrict that without restricting these ones down the bottom. You know, because this is a Thai stuff. They want to keep the cultivar within Thailand. They want to improve the cultivar in Thailand. So it's a very complicated situation. Anyway, when is the next Friday meetup? It would be, if I look at my calendar somewhere, it would be the 6th of October. So it's not next Friday, but the Friday after, so 2 weeks away. Okay. So they had questions about the prices. This is only just a selection from the shop I go to. You know, you met these guys. I did the video. I'm actually going to pop up there either today or tomorrow and make another video. I'm going to talk to them about that article, get their feedback. That was the other article. The video that comes out mentions that I'm going to make another video this week, and that would be the video I'm going to. I do want to talk about it because it's not a preempt thing, but our special crew can know. This is our special crew. You can get the inside story before it happens. Anyway, moving right along. What time is it? We got 11:50. I got 10 minutes to go, have we? Good. Okay. Where are we? Wait, 10
I
minutes?
need a coffee, but I've got to wait 10 minutes.
I got to wait 10 minutes. Yeah, I know. I want a second cup as well. Anyway, so not many people really sort of want to chime into the cannabis conversation today. I don't know. Anyway, we do see a lot of people come into this stream over the week. They tend to watch it outside the hours. I get twice as many people watch the stream, you know, after it's released than I do when I actually do the stream. So this is like a normal weekly video now, just with the two of us on screen, or maybe a few extras, and you guys chatting. This is our contribution to Thai society, without just rambling on for an hour, with hopefully some little tidbits of stuff that people can look at. You know, I can definitely sort of take you down a rabbit hole of stuff I watch on YouTube, but you know, like that hurts my brain sometimes too. You know. Anyway, I think.
Fashionista. What's that K there? All right, I have to look that over. I've just noticed something.
What's that?
It's all good.
It's all
No.
good.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
And of course, there's the other elephant in the room. You know, they want to clamp down on the cannabis, but you know, just about every second cannabis shop you walk past, you'll find a vape supplier.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That is a real weird one.
And that one is definitely, you know, has a law status to it.
Yeah.
You know, specifically written in the fact that the tax wasn't paid. That's where it came from.
Mm.
Well, I don't collect your tax. There's a shop up there. Go and get your tax. Leave me alone. Fuck you. But yeah, that's another one again. I'm not going to argue with that one. They'll be knocking my door and carting me away next. You know, if I suddenly go dark, you'll know what happened. I
don't have Waz's equipment, so I can't warn anyone.
But yeah, that's why I'm going dark. I don't like the idea of going. I can do it at a moment's notice. Just turn the whole world off and get back to doing other things. If I
Talk
set
about going dark. Power failure.
We couldn't game.
I couldn't game. I couldn't watch anything.
No, we couldn't game because the server's in your house.
No, you could because I've got my UPS.
I did the UPS on the router. Is it the router on the
Yeah,
UPS? Okay.
The server's on the UPS, but I closed down my main one because it draws too much current out of the battery. But I'm pretty sure the UPS with just the laptop, because it's got its own backup battery, so it'll just trickle feed.
So I get 3 hours on battery plus whatever the.
Another 3 hours, so it'll be 6 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
And the,
I didn't think about it. I just knew there was I knew there was a blackout. I knew. Oh, well, I won't worry about gaming today.
Yeah, and the internet connection's on the UPS as well.
Yeah.
So as long as it's got digital connection, you can still game. So
as long as all the route has power as well.
Yeah, well, I set it up so last time I went to Australia, you guys could still game even though I wasn't in Thailand. So.
And you're off in a couple of weeks, or not? A month?
Yeah, approximately a month. I got my mate Bill's wedding to go to, catch up with Kimbo and Ma, and sort of find out what it's like to be back in Australia. I'm planning on being there 2 weeks. But
I got
see
one
how it
last one. I wasn't going to feed on last night, but Shonda's been offered an opportunity to do some cabaret work in places near Tat, actually in Laos, across the border.
Okay.
35,000 baht a month, which is more than she's making in the salon at the moment. I said, yeah. Oh, what do you think about that? Should she do we'll pack the salon on, we'll put it in cold storage or something for 4 months while she goes away for 4 months for the period, and then open the salon somewhere else a bit closer to home? What do you think about that, guys? Because I don't know how to make these decisions. She's looking for me to make advice, and all I could do is, what do you want to achieve in the next 15 years? Who do you want to be? What do you want? I'm trying to get this instilled in her to look for the big dream, and it's an uphill battle. But she's, I can see things. She's at that age now. It's this midlife crisis age now that she's having a lot of stuff coming in, and I can't believe she actually does watch the news a lot. I don't hear the news, but because it's all in Thai, I hear what it's about vaguely from the words I do know. But she doesn't do as much TikTok as what she did, 6 months ago. She does news and what's going on in Thailand at the moment. She's really quite concerned about the state of the nation, and it does weigh heavily on her. She's a very concerned person about that sort of stuff. You've met her, her. She's, for the last 7 years, she has a compassion for humanity, and she sees that things are going wrong. And I think this is Thailand seeing it generally all across the place. They're all hurting. They're all keeping a brave upper face, and we've got our fair share of kicks. With Ben downstairs, who is getting better. Hopefully, we should be trying some more walking exercises. I'm going to see if I can get some more walking done tomorrow. See how good he is. But so he can do assisted walking. He still doesn't speak yet, but he's feeding himself and everything else like that. Still can't get himself from lying down to an upright position in bed. Hasn't got enough strength for that yet. He tries. You can see there's definite effort being exerted, but it's muscle dystrophy is completely fucked up. But yeah. But he's getting there. We're keeping our fingers crossed for Christmas that he'll be able to, start seeking a relatively normal life. He'll probably stay here for a year. Assisted. We'll probably move Mum upstairs into the spare room, put Ben downstairs so he doesn't have to deal with the stairs. But again, stairs are great exercise for getting to bed and back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll work around it. But we do see light at the end of the tunnel in that. We do see light at the end of the tunnel. The Australian dollar is getting a little bit better. There's some light at the end of the tunnel and a number of other little aspects. But, these, unfortunately this last week, it's like that yin and yang thing. All these little good things, and it's just that, got to find that balance. Okay, got to throw a bit more bad shit in there just to keep it. You can't have you feeling too good. That's the way life works, isn't it? Upsetting the overall universal chaos theory.
I believe in yin and yang, but I've had more yang than I've had yin. So I want yin to make an appearance so I can...
You've got to make yin. See, people think yin comes. No, you've got to make yin.
I can't do anything about yin when it's pissing down and I got no power.
I think there was a comment somebody commented on YouTube. I mentioned that there is a secret to staying young. Right, and he didn't. He sort of says, "Is it because of something?" You think he referred to the blue pills. That's not a secret anymore. No, this is a real secret, which is just don't grow up.
The Peter Pan syndrome.
Don't grow up. Do kids what the kids are doing. And quite frankly, I'm doing TikTok now like a fucking 15-year-old. And guess what? Okay, come and try to kill me then. So you look at my audience demographic, there's this flat line that peaks, it has a peak around the 55 to 65 year age group, and it drops down either side. That peak has shifted 30 years to the junior side. My peak audience is the 25 to 35 year old age group.
On Twitter.
on TikTok.
Oh, sorry,
TikTok. Which is, it's a mindset. You go on. I don't, all I can do is reflect off, Shania, but she's almost outside that age group too, So she's no longer relevant in that peak age group. So I can't even get any clues. Yeah. Because I just don't understand what some guy eating Tide Pods is all about. I just never understood that shit. But you gotta. TikTok actually works. I got a few people I follow there. I get all my Thai news now in about 10 minutes from the Tiger, because they've got a TikTok channel, and it just flicks through the daily news about midday. All the stuff that happened in the last 24 hours in little 3-minute pieces. It's quite handy. Anyway.
I could use my background. If they can't spell the name right, I'm not going to use the app. There's meant to be 2 C's in there, which they've taken away.
What's that?
TikTok.
TikTok?
Yeah, clock goes TikTok.
TikTok.
It's TickTock.
Oh, this is bad spelling.
If they can't spell it right, I'm not going to use it. I'm sorry. I
Anyway.
don't abbreviate my SMSs or my text messages, so I'm not going to use an app that's abbreviated.
We're going to get rock and roll. We've got to get our coffee, and we're going to get set up to go over to Twitch now and stream this shit and run a few purges. How can we roust Oggy up? He should be awake. Was it Friday night for him? He should be awake. Where is he?
I thought he was online earlier.
I thought he was too. Anyway, we're going to bounce out, and we'll catch up with you. We're going to, so if everything goes to plan, I'll have, we got a Wednesday video, which Todd will like, because we found another little Japanese hidey hole.
Okay.
So we had Japanese last Wednesday.
Nice.
Yes. Which was interesting and yummy all the same. And it was actually cooked Japanese, which is even better for me because I don't eat raw food.
Oh no, you can get you got ramen, you got.
Oh, every time I've been invited to Japanese, it's always raw shit. I'm going, where's the cooked stuff?
Well, you've got sashimi and sushi. That's the raw side of it. Yeah. And as long as you've got the right condiments, it is delicious. But you've got the fried, the boiled, the stewed side of Japanese food that doesn't get that sort of mainstream coverage. But it's awesome, like grilled eel, amagi. I love amagi. Grilled eel is it's the bomb.
I didn't see that on the menu, but they had quite a few things there that would look quite interesting. You know. But wait for that video. The TikTok's already out for that, little bits and pieces.
Well, I would have known about it if I had a TikTok
yeah,
account.
you would have. Yeah, so you would have known about that. But anyway, I'm out of here. Ramen noodles. I love ramen. Yes, I do like I do like Hachiban. That's one of my favourite little chain restaurants.
What was that? They say in Japanese, oshi desu.
Oshi desu.
Oshi desu.
Anyway,
delicious.
Where's the music? We'll get out of here. It was a closing screen. Peace out, guys. Love you. Got to leave you. Got to play some games now. Bye-bye.